Hey everyone, if you want to make your own podcast but you don't know where to begin, Spotify for Podcasters makes it super easy. They've got everything in one place, it's totally free, and you can make money while doing it. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start doing it today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and pretty much everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also supported, and you can even conduct polls and Q&As. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, the platform is totally free. No catch, totally free. When I wanted to start my own podcast, I did not know where to begin, and I didn't think it was even possible. And Spotify for Podcasters made it happen. They made it easy, they made it quick, and I am doing something that I love. What more can I ask for? So if you're interested in starting your own show, you can do it, and I highly recommend you give this a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Everything Kratom, the podcast about anything and everything Kratom. Great to have you with us on this Friday morning. Hoping all is well with you. Yesterday was a tough day for me, as you all recall. But today's, I'm doing better. And I thought that I would talk a little bit about how yesterday I didn't take any Kratom. And on days where it's like I feel really emotional, I don't like to take anything, even though I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing to take. I like to try and keep my mind as crystal clear as possible and just to kind of ebb and flow with emotions however they're going to take me, So maybe it's a more genuine experience, maybe it isn't, but for some reason it makes my mind feel better when I do that. So that's what I do. So yesterday I did not take any Kratom, and today I did. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about this little break, this hiatus, and if it has any effect on how Kratom affects me. So let's get into it. So normally, I will take Kratom a few times a week. Sometimes I'll take it every day for a week. It depends on how busy the week is or, the different uses that I have for Kratom that week. But it certainly isn't out of the ordinary for me to take Kratom every day during a week. Sometimes I will take it just a few times, and when I do just take it a few times during the week, I do find that there's a difference. It's not a large difference, and it also depends on if I'm using different, varieties of Kratom, and how often. So there's a lot of factors into it, which of course, all the factors makes me love Kratom and love talking about it because it's basically giving me unlimited content to talk about here. It's always been a dream of mine to just talk about Kratom all the time, as you all know. So I'm really happy. So anyway, looking at my typical week, let's say I have a break between one day and the next before I take Kratom again. Well, if I've taken Kratom on a Monday, and let's say I focused on, whites, I took a number of whites on Monday, and then Tuesday, I don't take anything. Wednesday, I take a number of whites again. That break, that one day break, if I'm taking the same varieties on either side of that break, it won't do too much to the way the effects work. It might be that those effects take hold quicker. That's what I've found. The effects take hold a lot quicker if I've had a break in between. And also, they are a little bit stronger, but not by much. I don't find it that noticeable. With greens, if I on a Monday take green Kratom, let's say green Mangda for the heck of it, and then on Tuesday I don't take anything, and then on Wednesday I take green Mangda again, that is a noticeable change. Taking that break is huge. If I take green Mangda on a Monday and then take it again on a Tuesday, it's not like the effects are greatly diminished, but I can kind of tell that it's not quite doing its job as well as it did the first day. So that break is really important with the greens for me. And I don't really know why that is, but for some reason it's important with the greens. If I'm talking about reds, it makes no difference. It makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. Again, I don't know. Like, please tell me, anybody. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. If I take a red every day during the week, if it's the same red, same amount, same time of day, it will work the same way. Really, really, really strange. But it's cool because it means that, if I'm having trouble sleeping for a whole week, which I don't have that, happen too often where it's a whole week, but, it's happened a couple times. I can really count on the red varieties of Kratom, specifically red Thai, to put me, into a nice space where I can go to sleep and feel warm and fuzzy inside and get that wondiferous red Kratom feeling that only Kratom can offer. So I do love that. But yeah, I mean, so for my experience this week with all that in context, on Wednesday, I had taken, let's see. On Wednesday, I think I took a green in the morning and a white in the afternoon. Yes, green Thai in the morning, and then I took Indo white in the afternoon around 1 o'clock, which is when I love to take that one. And then Thursday, obviously, did not take Kratom. Today I did take Kratom. I took some white Thai this morning, about 2.5 grams, and having this break in between was, I'm sure, helpful because the effects do seem to be a bit stronger today. Also, I don't always take a white in the morning. Sometimes I do, but it's not necessarily like, especially recently, I've been finding that I love this whole build-up throughout the day, starting with greens and then going into whites in the early afternoon. I love that build-up, and it's like a natural progression and gets me going. So I haven't been taking whites in the morning all too often, but today, for some reason, I just kind of wanted to kick it into gear. I've got work to do, kind of not shaking off yesterday, but coming to terms with yesterday and moving on. Or not moving on. I'm just going through that whole mental somersault that exists when you lose someone and you're thinking about them. So, but you still have work to do and you got to do it, So I needed something to kick me into gear. And so I took white Thai this morning, 2.5 grams. It's doing its job. I think that it has a bit of an elevated effect because of this break. Even though I didn't take white Thai on Wednesday, I took Indo white midday. And that's still a white, and I think that if you take whites, at least for me, I guess everyone's different, of course, but for me, if I take whites, I can notice if I take whites every day that there's a diminished effect there. Over time, there definitely is, but day to day, this episode's really talking about like a 1-day break. So for a 1-day break, I do notice a little bit of a difference. The white Thai hit very quickly this morning, quicker than I expected. And I did eat a breakfast as well beforehand, so I wasn't expecting it to hit very quickly, but it did, which is welcomed. And we'll see how strong the effects are. I only took it 15 minutes ago. So far, the effects are pretty much right on point. They're right where I thought they would be. But that quickness, the amount of time that it took to kick in was a bit surprising to me. And so I'm going to be monitoring that today. And I just find it, interesting to think about it. If you're someone who takes it, day by day, or if you take it a few days a week, do you notice if there's a difference if you have 1-day break between, a 2-day break between, or no breaks? And I would assume that most people would notice a difference if you're taking more than a few days in between, but you normally don't take any breaks. I've certainly gone through weeks where I've taken Kratom every day and then taken a few days break, and no matter what variety of Kratom it is at that point, if I've been taking it for a couple of weeks and then I stop for a few days, it makes all the difference no matter what, except with reds. And that's always been confusing to me because it's like, really? Even with, 2 weeks on, 1, 2, 3 days off, and then you try it again, it still doesn't make a difference with reds? Yeah, really, really weird. I wonder if it has something to do with I have no idea what it has to do with. I'd love to find out from anybody who knows more than I do. But with the greens and whites, it makes all the difference in the world at that point. I mean, the effectiveness is boosted like 30%. And I would say the onset is probably bolstered like 15% or 10%. That's kind of why I was surprised today, because it's only been a 1-day break and I'm noticing that it, the onset was something like 15-20%, which is what I would typically see after taking Kratom for a few weeks and then taking just, a couple days off there, more noticeable break. So this was a short one today, everybody, but I just, it's just what was on my mind, so I thought I'd bring it up. And if anything else interesting happens on Monday, I'll give a quick update on it before going into whatever we're talking about then. But so far, quicker onset effects seem pretty similar. So that's my update for today. Hope everybody's doing great out there. Hope your mental health is well. Hope your Friday is going well. And then happy weekend. All right, everybody, have a great first weekend of 2022. Take it easy. Bye-bye.